Hi everyone, welcome to The Nostalgic Dragon, where I talk about fantasy books, mythological books, and sometimes science fiction. Today I will discuss my thoughts on the Suneater series. I read the first two books, Empire of Silence and Howling Dark. Empire of Silence is reviewed here on the channel. There is an interview with Christopher Occhio here as well. Howling Dark is new for you, at least to hear my thoughts on it. There will be spoilers, of course, not so big spoilers. So if you don't mind, you can still watch, I think, the whole video anyway. But if you don't want any spoilers, please don't continue to watch. I will start to read the back on Empire of Silence. It's a Suneaterseries. It's a space opera, a space saga. And it's about the protagonist is Hadrian Marlowe. He's part of the nobility. He is, you could say, he walks his own way. He breaks the tradition and follow his heart. And he's now a very, I think, hated man in this universe. And there are many official accounts on what actually happened in this story, 7 books. I think it is now. But this is an unofficial account. So I'll start to read the back on the first book. It was not his war. On the wrong planet at the right time, for the best of reasons, Hadrian Marlowe started down a path that could only end in fire. The galaxy remembers him as a hero, the man who burned every last Cielcin from the sky. They remember him as a monster, the devil who destroyed a sun, casually annihilating 4 billion human lives, even the emperor himself, against imperial orders. But Hadrian was not a hero, he was not a monster, he was not even a soldier. That is the text on the back for the first book, where we get to know Hadrian, his motives, his conflicts in his family, and his will to walk his own path. And as it is described here, there is an alien race called Cielcin, and then you could say the Empire, which he belongs to. Cielcin is portrayed as very evil, but in this first book, Hadrian has another view on the Cielcin. He thinks it's possible to make peace with them. So he is very diplomatic. He don't want conflict, and he wants to try to make peace. Because of that, he leaves the tradition, he leaves the family, he goes down to live on the bottom of society, and especially in the first book, it takes place in a Colosseum environment, where he also is part of this gladiator culture. And he get new perspectives and new friends. And the first book is like prepares you for the other books. You will get to know this Suneater universe, the world, the politics, and you will also get to know the languages, linguistics. It's important, and a lot of cultural references are to our culture. So this is a sci-fi universe that is very close, not far from here. You will recognize customs, religions, traditions, languages, you name it. It's very easy to connect to this book, and also to the struggle of Hadrian, because haven't we all felt sometime that we might want to do something different that we are taught as a child, or from others during our childhood. So this is the first book, already reviewed here on the channel. I liked it very much. As you know, I'm an avid Malazan reader. I read other things as well. This is one of the things I read. Second book, Howling Dark. First of all, I think the artwork is great. There are also broken binding editions, which I will show you in a separate video, that really, really look beautiful, I would say. If you look at the back of the Howling Dark, okay, so we know Hadrian Marlowe has, in the first book, he has went his own way. Here it says, Hadrian Marlowe is lost. For half a century, he has searched the farther suns for the lost planet of Vorgossos, hoping to find a way to contact the elusive alien Cielcin. and bring an end to nearly 400 years of war. Now Hadrian will venture beyond the safety of the Solan Empire, mingle with the extrasolarians who dwell there, contend with creatures that once were human, and come face to face with no less than the oldest enemy of mankind. If he finds the Sieltsin, he could usher in a peace unlike any in recorded history. If he fails, the galaxy will burn. The first book might be, could be criticized for being slow. I like slow books. I like the prose of Rucchio. It's very poetic. You're a lot inside Hadrian Marlowe's mind, I would say. This book is faster, way faster. So I think it's worth the wait. If you think Empire of Silence it was slow or it was difficult to get through from time to time, don't worry. This is action-packed, especially I think the last 350 pages. It's a page turner. And here you will continue to learn to know Hadrian. He has obviously gone his own way compared to the first book. I think this is 20. This is, I'm not sure how many years ahead it is now, but I think it's if it's 50 years ahead compared to the ending on the first book. So a lot of things, the Rocky will get us a sense of that it has gone many years, and it works, but still it feels quite recognizable, all the things in the book. Hadrian will in this book cooperate with a lot of people. Valka is a scientist, and he meets her in the first book, and he will continue to work with her. I think she is very enjoyable to read about. There are also people from the Colosseum in the first book, the gladiators, and that is Switch, for example. You also have rivals in this book, like Basander. The book deepens the lore a lot, I think. You will get to know a lot more about the lore in the Suneater world. As I said earlier, the first book was quite focused on linguistics and setup, you could say, for the second book. Here it's, as I said, more actions, more action and more action-packed scenes. In the first book, I think we jumped between many different places, from a geographical point of view, at least. It's less of that here. Here you are more on different spaceships. And this book centers around his attempt to make peace with the Ciels in the alien race. I won't spoil anything, but that's part of this plot in the book. I would say that when I had finished this book, I started immediately on the third book, Demon in White. I think the pacing in the book is great. If you put the first and second book together, I think the pacing are great because you slow start in the first book and now it's very action paced. One thing that is interesting with Hadrian is that he is not making good decisions. He has a very strong view of himself, how good he is. And that makes him take, I think, bad decisions. And for me, at least, I can get annoyed when I read this book because I think, Hadrian, you should not have done that. Why did you do that? So I get engaged as a reader, and I think I can relate to my own life. I've told you about that before. I made a life journey, which I'm very happy with, and I might tell you about that sometime. He breaks tradition, he goes his own way, everything doesn't go as planned, but he still does it, and I think that is impressive. Now this is drawn a little bit to the extreme, I think, because we know that everything is not going to go well with Hadrian. if you want to make changes in life, do it because it's great. And I mean, you can live more than once, we don't know, but at the moment you only live this life. So try to do that if you need to. I think Hadrian's, the book about Hadrian is an interesting perspective of making changes. So one way to read these Suneater books is maybe that you shouldn't do changes in life. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to interpret it. We'll ask Christopher Rucchio about that when I talk to him later this month. But I think if you do a change in life, think about what you do, and maybe don't do it with such a strong ego, because then it might get problematic, as it seems to be for Hadrian. Because it seems like he uses his friends as pawns sometimes for his own purposes. It doesn't seem very nice, and it can be very heartbreaking, I would say. Um, you can also say that Hadrian is very confused. He's more confused in this second book than in the first book. Sometimes I'm not sure where he is heading, and I'm very sure that he doesn't know that for himself. So even if it's a sci-fi book, I mean, like all books, they can learn you a lot of things in life. I think Suneaterseries is something that can give you a lot of perspective in life. I'm especially impressed by that because I'm not sure about Christopher Rucchio's age, but he's quite young, and to write with that kind of maturity is interesting. There's a lot of wisdom in Christopher Rucchio's writing. At the same time, the book is very entertaining. So that was my thoughts on the Suneaterseries, book two. And as you know, this is a vlog, so this is not scripted, so I just talk from my heart. And I'll see you soon, and I wish you a very beautiful day, and take care, drink coffee, tea, or water, or whatever you like. Bye.